Let's face it, folks, relationships can be tough. They require effort, understanding, and a lot of patience. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things can go wrong. You put your heart out there, you trust someone, and sometimes, things just don't add up. The person you thought you knew starts acting differently, and you can't help but feel something is off. Today we're diving deep into a topic that can be painful, but it's important: infidelity. It's a subject that many shy away from, but understanding it can help you navigate your relationship better. We're talking about the signs your girlfriend might be cheating. It's not about jumping to conclusions, but about being aware of the subtle changes in behavior. Look, I'm not saying that if you see one or two of these signs, it's a done deal. Relationships are complex, and there could be many reasons for a change in behavior. But when you start seeing a pattern, when things just feel off, it's time to pay attention. Trust your instincts, but also seek clarity through open and honest communication. Recognizing these signs early on can save you a whole lot of heartache down the road. It's about protecting your emotional well-being and making informed decisions about your relationship. So if you're ready to face the truth, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get real about relationships. Together, we can navigate the complexities of love and trust and build stronger, healthier connections. Number 1 on our list is a big one. She's suddenly become secretive with her phone. You used to see her phone lying around the house, on the kitchen counter or the coffee table, just like any other object. It was never a big deal. But now, it's like she's guarding it with her life. I'm talking Fort Knox level security here. She clutches it tightly, and you can almost see the tension in her fingers as she holds onto it. Used to be, her phone was just part of the furniture, laying around, no big deal. You could even borrow it to make a quick call or check something online without a second thought. Now it's glued to her hand, face down, password protected like it holds the secrets to the universe. She never leaves it unattended, and if she does, it's always face down, as if to hide any notifications that might pop up. And when you walk in the room, she clams up, switches screens, shoves it in her purse. It's like she's hiding something, and the moment you appear, she goes into lockdown mode. What's she hiding? Who's she texting at 2 a.m.? These late-night texting sessions are becoming more frequent, and she looks anxious, almost guilty, when you catch her in the act. Look, everybody deserves their privacy, but this kind of behavior, this shift, it's a red flag, folks. It's not just about privacy. It's about a sudden change in behavior that's hard to ignore. It's a sign something's up, and it's time to start asking some tough questions. Communication is key in any relationship, and if you feel something's off, it's better to address it sooner rather than later. Trust your instincts and have that conversation. Number 2, unexplained absences and late nights. Now, everyone's got their own lives, their own things going on. But when someone you're close to starts disappearing, not telling you where they're going, who they're with, that's a problem. Maybe she's always working late, suddenly picking up extra shifts. Or maybe she's got a new friend she's spending all her time with, someone you've never met, someone she doesn't talk about much. These unexplained absences, these vague answers, they create distance, they breed suspicion. And trust me, suspicion is a relationship killer. Number 3, she's picking fights more often. Now, disagreements are normal in any relationship, healthy even. But when every little thing becomes a battle, when she's constantly on edge, looking for a reason to blow up, that's a sign something's not right. It's like she's trying to push you away, create distance, justify her own actions. Maybe she feels guilty, maybe she's trying to rationalize her behavior. Whatever the reason, this shift towards constant conflict, it's toxic. It's a sign the foundation of your relationship is crumbling. Chapter 4, Less Interested in Intimacy. Number 4, and this one's a tough one to talk about, she's less interested in intimacy. Physical touch, emotional connection, it's all part of a healthy relationship. But when that intimacy starts to fade, when she's constantly pushing you away, it's a major red flag. Maybe she's always too tired, not in the mood. Maybe she shies away from your touch, avoids eye contact. This lack of intimacy, it creates a void in the relationship, a void that can be easily filled by someone else. And trust me, that's a dangerous path to go down. Chapter 5, Caring More About Appearance. Number 5, she's suddenly obsessed with her appearance. Now there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, to take pride in yourself. But when someone goes from 0 to 60, from sweatpants and a messy bun to full glam every time she steps out the door, it makes you wonder why. New clothes, new haircut, new perfume. It's like she's trying to impress someone, to catch someone's eye. And if that someone isn't you, well, that's a problem. This sudden shift in appearance, it's often a sign someone is seeking validation outside the relationship. Chapter 6. New friend or colleague. Number 6. There's a new friend or colleague in her life. Someone she's always talking about, someone you never get to meet. This new person, they're always around, always in the background, always a topic of conversation. But when you try to pin down the details, who they are, how they met, she gets evasive, vague. This friend, this colleague, they're shrouded in secrecy, and that's never a good sign. It's like she's living a double life. One with you and one with this other person. And when those two worlds collide, well, that's when the trouble really starts. Chapter 7. She's become overly defensive. Simple questions like, how was your day? Are met with hostility, with accusations. It's like she's always on guard, always expecting an interrogation. This defensiveness, it creates a wall between you, a wall built on suspicion and mistrust. It's like she's hiding something and she's terrified of you finding out. And the more you push, the more defensive she becomes, creating a vicious cycle of suspicion and resentment. Chapter 8. She's hiding financial transactions, joint accounts, credit card statements, they're all off limits now. Cash withdrawals, unexplained purchases, it's like she's got a secret stash, a secret life you're not privy to. Maybe she's spending money on this new friend, on hotels, on gifts, or maybe she's trying to build a financial safety net, a way out of the relationship. Whatever the reason, this financial secrecy, it's a betrayal of trust. It's a sign that she's not being honest with you, that she's keeping secrets. Chapter 9. She's showing less interest in your relationship. Date nights are a thing of the past, conversations are strained, and she's always too busy for you. It's like she's checked out emotionally, like she's already moved on. Your needs, your feelings, they no longer seem to matter. She's indifferent, distant, and you're left feeling like a ghost in your own relationship. This lack of interest, it's a slow, agonizing death for a relationship. It's a sign that she's no longer invested, that her heart is no longer in it. And finally, number 10, she's accusing you of cheating. This one's a classic, folks. It's called projection. She's projecting her own guilt, her own infidelity onto you. Suddenly, you're the one under suspicion. She's accusing you of looking at other women, of being secretive, of being distant. It's a desperate attempt to deflect attention from her own actions, to turn the tables and make you the bad guy. Don't fall for it. This kind of behavior is a major red flag, a sign that she's not being honest with herself or with you. Look, I know this is tough stuff. Relationships are complex and emotions run deep. It's never easy to confront the possibility that someone you care about might be betraying your trust. The very thought can be paralyzing, making you question everything you thought you knew about your partner and your relationship. Nobody wants to believe that someone they love could be unfaithful. It's a painful reality to face, and it can feel like your world is crumbling around you. But it's important to remember that facing the truth is the first step towards healing and finding a resolution. Whether that means working through the issues together or moving on. But sometimes, you have to face the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Denial can only prolong the inevitable and make the situation worse. It's crucial to acknowledge your feelings and the signs that something might be wrong. This is not about jumping to conclusions, but about being honest with yourself and your partner. Ignoring the signs won't make them go away. In fact, it can lead to more hurt and confusion down the line. If you notice patterns of behavior that are concerning, it's important to address them head-on. This doesn't mean you have to accuse your partner right away, but rather, start a dialogue about your concerns. If you're seeing several of these signs in your relationship, it's time to have a serious conversation with your girlfriend. Approach the conversation with an open mind and a calm demeanor. Remember, the goal is to understand what's going on and to find a way forward, whether that means working through the issues or making the difficult decision to part ways. Don't accuse, don't attack, just express your concerns calmly and honestly. Use I statements to communicate how you feel and what you've observed. For example, I've noticed that we've been spending less time together, and it's making me feel distant. This approach can help prevent defensiveness and encourage a more productive conversation. And remember, you deserve to be with someone who loves you, respects you, and is honest with you. A healthy relationship is built on trust, communication, and mutual respect. If these elements are missing, it's important to evaluate whether the relationship is truly serving your well-being and happiness. Don't settle for anything less. You have the right to be in a relationship that makes you feel valued and secure. If your partner is unwilling to address your concerns or make changes, it might be time to consider moving on. It's a difficult decision, but your emotional health and happiness should always come first. Now, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and let me know what you think. Your experiences and insights can help others who might be going through similar situations. Let's create a supportive community where we can share, learn, and grow together. Have you ever experienced this in your own relationships? Let's talk. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs to take that first step towards a healthier, happier life.